Most people believe their problems come from bad luck, bad people, or difficult situations. But Stoic philosophers believed something very different. They believed 94% of your problems come from how you think, not what happens to you. Think about it. Two people can face the exact same situation. One becomes angry, frustrated, and stressed. The other stays calm and moves forward. So what creates that difference? The answer is something the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius understood more than 2,000 years ago. And once you understand it, most of your daily stress, anger, and frustration begin to disappear. Now let's begin with the first Stoic habit that quietly solves one of the biggest problems in modern life: overthinking. Overthinking is one of the most common problems people face today. You replay conversations in your mind. You analyze things you said yesterday. You imagine arguments that haven't even happened yet. And suddenly your mind becomes a battlefield. Marcus Aurelius warned about this exact problem. He wrote, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." Think about that. Most suffering does not come from events. It comes from the stories we create in our own minds. You send a message and someone doesn't reply. Your mind starts imagining 10 different reasons. Maybe they are ignoring you, maybe they are upset, maybe they dislike you. But the truth is, you created all that stress without any evidence. The Stoics practiced a powerful habit. They observed their thoughts without believing every single one, because not every thought deserves your attention. And once you learn to control your thoughts, you begin to control your life. Section 2. Stop letting other people control your mood. Now think about how often your mood depends on other people. Someone criticizes you, someone ignores you, someone disrespects you, and suddenly your entire day feels ruined. But here is something the Stoics understood very clearly. When someone can control your emotions, they control you. Epictetus once said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit." In other words, people only have power over you if you give it to them. The Stoic approach is simple. Let people behave however they want. They will talk. They will judge. They will misunderstand you. But their behavior does not define your character. Your response does. And when you stop letting other people control your emotions, you become mentally free. Section 3. Stop reacting to everything. Modern life constantly demands reactions. Social media arguments, online debates, people sharing opinions about everything. Everyone wants your reaction. But Stoic philosophy teaches something powerful. Not everything deserves your reaction. When someone insults you, they expect anger. When someone criticizes you, they expect defensiveness. But when you remain calm, you take away their power. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily. He reminded himself that people would be rude, selfish, and ignorant. But he also reminded himself of something important. Their behavior cannot harm him, unless he allows it to. Sometimes the strongest response is silence. Section 4. Focus only on what you control. This is one of the most powerful Stoic principles, and it solves an incredible number of problems. The Stoics divided life into two categories: things you control and things you don't. You control your actions, your decisions, your effort. You do not control other people's opinions, unexpected events, the past, the future. Yet most people waste their energy worrying about things they cannot control. They stress about what others think. They regret things they cannot change. They fear situations that haven't even happened. This creates constant anxiety. But the Stoic strategy is simple. Put your energy only into what you control. Everything else, let it go. Section 5. Stop comparing yourself to others. One of the biggest sources of modern unhappiness is comparison. You look at other people, their success, their money, their lifestyle, and suddenly you feel like you're behind. But the Stoics believed comparison destroys peace of mind. Seneca once wrote, "He who is content with what he has is truly rich." Someone will always have more success, more recognition, more wealth. But happiness does not come from having more. It comes from appreciating what you already have. When you stop comparing your life to others, you begin to experience real freedom. Section 6. Become comfortable with discomfort. Modern society teaches us to avoid discomfort. We want convenience, comfort, easy solutions. But the Stoics believed discomfort builds strength. Hard work, difficult conversations, loneliness, silence. These things are not enemies. They are training. Seneca practiced voluntary discomfort. Sometimes he slept on the floor. Sometimes he ate simple food, not because he had to, but because he wanted to remind himself that comfort was optional. The more comfortable you become with discomfort, the stronger your mind becomes. Section 7. Remember that life is short. The final Stoic habit might sound unusual, but it changes how you see everything. Remember that life is temporary. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself of death, not to feel negative, but to stay focused on what truly matters. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." When you remember life is short, petty arguments lose importance, small frustrations lose their power, and suddenly you begin to focus on what really matters. Your character, your actions, your purpose. Most people spend their lives trying to control the world, but Stoic philosophers understood something deeper. You don't need to control the world. You only need to control yourself, your thoughts, your reactions, your actions. And once you master those things, life becomes calmer, clearer, and far more powerful. Because the person who controls their mind controls their life.